About a month ago, my life has drastically changed in ways I never would have imagined could happen. I'm gonna word this really not the best. I will talk about this, but in the most respectful way. I was in almost a 2.5 year relationship, and I think I was unhappy with myself throughout the entirety of it, and that caused so many ongoing problems. I wasn't well with myself. I would get into these depressive episodes in which I would feel so helpless. I am a big overthinker, and whenever anything negative pops up in my head, I would feed into it, I would believe it, and that would cause me to dig this hole for myself. And not doing anything about it felt so comfortable, and I got so used to it. It was learned helplessness, is how I would put it. There would be days, if not weeks, where I would feel empty. It'd be like I'd have the winter blues, but constantly. And if you aren't well with yourself, how could you possibly be there for other people? You can't. And I didn't have the energy. I did. I chose to stay stuck in that hole. That was the downfall of my relationship. I'm thankful I realized sooner rather than later that neither of us deserved that. What I was doing, what I was causing. I wasn't ready for a relationship because I wasn't mentally there or healthy enough to provide what called for in a relationship. It's not like I wasn't ever happy in that relationship and I wasn't grateful, but it was more so I was living off those moments. And in hindsight, that's terrible for you. You shouldn't depend on other people or other things to make you feel happy. And I don't think happiness is real. I feel the word I'm looking for is feeling harmonious, the feeling or the being of living in harmony, being in tune with yourself truly. So I think happiness is just a feeling. I would call it harmony. I would prefer that, or even gratitude. I don't know. But I was just living off those happy moments, and I wasn't at peace with myself, which is what I should have been working on to begin with. But back to what I was saying, I'm grateful that it ended how it did. It was mutual, and we both knew it was for the best. And that was really eye opening. I was blind and deaf to everything, all the advice that I had gotten from people who were looking at outside of the relationship, outside of my eyes. I didn't care to. I heard what they said, but I didn't listen or see it how they did. Try to, at least. I would tell myself, yeah, no, I get it. But no, I would take a glance at what they were saying and not truly see. My mom, especially, she would notice. My family, especially, they would notice how I was losing touch with things that made me who I was, things that made me at peace and in harmony with myself, in tune. I was I was in a bad mental state and I didn't even realize it. I would stop going to the gym, which I love fitness. The passion of being fit, being healthy, eating right. It started not my whole life, but it's a big part of it now. I lost touch with family, with friends. It's like all I was set on was that relationship. I was literally depending on that relationship to provide my basic need of feeling good overall. And my eyes were finally opened after it was over. I saw how much time I had used up not doing what made me truly me. It was hard, obviously. It was a week after the breakup. There was a mix of emotions, but then I got stuck in a cycle of bad habits, old habits that I thought I had destroyed, but no, it's like they just sprouted up again. They sprouted up from the ground, and it was bad times. And that was like about a month ago. I'm saying it's bad times like it was years ago, but no, it was recent. I started slowly climbing back up out of the hole that I had dug myself I dug it really deep. I did. But I started taking steps to live a productive and harmonious life. I got the feeling that, I got to thinking, what do I want in life? And I compared myself, or I looked at my current life, and I was eating bad, sleeping, barely sleeping, sleeping 3 hours on school nights, bumming in bed, rotting on my phone, living off of short bursts of dopamine hits is what really got me. And that's not a way to live at all. That's not. I wouldn't even call it living, surviving. It's a life I don't want to go back to. It's a way I don't want to live my life. I started becoming more serious about planning my life, basically, the way I would want it, truly want it. I always knew I wanted to be successful in being healthy, financially stable, providing for my loved ones, feeling in tune, that all that would make me feel in tune. But I didn't realize I could already be in tune with myself. I should be grateful for waking up every day. It's a blessing. It's truly a blessing. I just had a idea moment. I shouldn't be looking for things to make me happy. Happy isn't real. It's a feeling. Or happiness is real. It's a feeling though. I'm too focused on thinking if I reach this amount of XYZ, I'll be happy, which is what I think I want. But no, being grateful just to be here, I think, is the way to live. Anyways. I was finally climbing up out of that hole I've dug myself, sorry. I was looking into colleges, the most realistic way to live in this society, but I was looking into colleges and scholarships, and I came across this video that popped up on my feed because it was flooding with self-improvement, college application tips, how to be more productive, all that type of stuff on my media. And this guy, who is all about college essays, that's what all his YouTube stuff is about, all his content, had this one video that was a bit different from the rest of his content, and it was titled 10 Things I Wish I Had Learned Earlier. I clicked on it just out of curiosity. I was struggling with feeling lost, so clicked on the video. One of the first things that came up was a quote that has stuck to me, and I think has been guiding me on the right path to feeling fulfilled and feeling in control of my life, feeling harmonious. And the quote that I saw that has been pushing me this whole time, since about a month ago, it's been pushing me like crazy. It goes like this: you aren't your thoughts, you are the observer of your thoughts. When I heard this, when he said it, it illustrated this picture of me in my mind. Here I am, and every thought that has popped up in my head throughout my day, I'm merely the observer. And with negative thoughts especially, it has helped me tremendously. I'm a big overthinker, and whenever a negative thought comes up, I tend to believe it, or used to. So illustrate this picture of me in my head, of me being the observer. A negative thought, for example, comes up: I don't want to do this today. I don't want to get up out of bed. I don't want to do these sprints. We can do this tomorrow. Geez, my media has been filled with self-improvement tips, videos. So this other quote basically combined with this observer concept. So this other quote is, it's not a quote, it's more of a mindset. Picture yourself, your ideal self, and imagine how they would act and work and live every day, how much effort they would put in, how they would think, how much confidence they have in themselves to do things, to get things done. And when I'm the observer, when a negative thought comes up, I can now tackle that annoying negative thought with ease, knowing that I have control of my life, of choosing what beliefs to feed into, and knowing that I have to work 10 times as harder, 100 times harder than before to become this ideal self. It has taken me on a road of productivity, a road to peace, and just a road of getting me to where I want to be. This new mindset that I adopted has taken me from bumming around, not making a name for myself or not making anything out of myself really, to actually putting work in, actually being proud of myself and actually being satisfied with the results. And this new mindset has manifested into a 100-day challenge that I set for myself and that I'm documenting on this YouTube channel and TikTok and now Instagram. I have 4 goals. There's a punishment if I don't complete them, set by the audience, and it's been tough. I know it's not going to be a comfort challenge. You don't get anything valuable out of life if you don't put hard work in. And of course, there's thoughts of me wanting to quit, but I'm not just going to build this community in a week, say I'm going to do these things and then not do them. I'm looking at the back of my phone case, and I wrote this a while ago, I don't know when, but it's a ripped out piece of paper. It says baby steps, and I thank myself, the old me, for doing one thing that was actually helpful, for getting me to where I want to be. Baby steps just reminded me that there's no big step that's going to take me from where I am now to where I want to be in a day. It's those little steps that they compound. Those steps compound, and they take you places, far places, big places, places where you would want to be maybe 100 days from now. I've changed my whole life in 1 month's time. I'm making this channel, building this community, taking a win every day, not just for myself, but to motivate and inspire other people who may have been struggling, who may not believe in themselves. I think I can say that I was one of the biggest bums to have ever stepped foot on this planet. I would always talk and say, I'm gonna get this done. I'm gonna take this course and I'm gonna make a name out of myself. I'm gonna become successful. I'm gonna make a lot of money. And I don't do anything to show for it. I didn't. I'm taking the right. My foot is falling asleep, sorry. Oh, my goodness. It's an awkward pose, but I needed a good background. I used to be a bum. I used to talk the talk. I used to talk the talk and not walk the walk. And I'm transforming myself in these 100 days. I'm taking those baby steps and walking the walk. And you could do it too. You gotta think, if them, why not me? You gotta be the observer and take control of your life if you want to get anywhere. I have taken control of my mind, my body, and I feel like I'm in tune with my spiritual side. I'm taking the right path, and I know anyone watching this could too. That's all for now. See you in the next one. Peace.